Hello, Gems. How are you doing? Just wanted to go live for a little bit and see how you guys were doing. Hope everybody's doing great. I am doing great as well. I tried to take a little bit of time out of my schedule and to go live for a little bit. So here we are. Okay, I got the camera to turn on and everything. I'm going to be here live for a little bit, maybe 30 minutes or so. I hope you guys are having an amazing Tuesday. It is Transformational Tuesday. So what will you do to transform your life today? That's what I want to talk about. How we can make some choices in our life to transform it, to make our life better than it ever has been. And it takes work. It takes work to transform our life. It takes work to improve. And for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it took me a while for me to give my own self the permission to change, to be happy, to have peace, and so many other things. Because anybody out there, if you've ever been really sad in your life and you've ever gone through some things, and sometimes when you sit with that pain, when you sit with choices that other people made that you didn't agree with, when just things happen to you in your life and you have to cope with it, you have to allow yourself to move on. And sometimes that's the hardest part. The hardest part is letting yourself transform, letting yourself be a better person, letting yourself improve, and to not settle. And I can say for myself that I had settled for such a long time that making changes, hi Foodie, how are you doing? I had made so many, settling for such a long time and being so unhappy. I'm doing great. How are you? I had been so unhappy for such a long time in my life that I didn't even know how to move on with my life and to be happy again. Oh, thank you so much, Foodie. I appreciate it. I hope you guys are doing great. When you've ever been through things in your life, like if you've ever been so unhappy, hi, Sabrat, how are you doing? I am in Florida. That is something that I personally had to work on, trying to make myself be happy. Please call me Aru. I hope I'm saying your name properly. When you have ever been really unhappy in your life, if you've ever been that unhappy where you've been sad, you've ever suffered from depression, or you've been through some issues with your family, or you've ever gone through a really bad breakup or things like that, yes, I do. I do believe in God. Yes, if you've ever been through something like that in your life where you've ever been really sad, it takes time for us to find out how to be happy with the new changes in our life. It's hard for us to allow ourselves to be, whoever we're supposed to be, whoever we're meant to be. And for a long time, I found myself wrapped up in the pain of losing loved ones and the pain of just decisions that I didn't agree with. Like I see somebody in the chat says you had a breakup. When we have things that happen to us in our life, it can be very challenging to make ourselves happy. We can be very, very sad, very depressed, and go through things, but at the end of the day, it's up to us to be happy. And we have to do things to make ourselves happy. Hi, hi, Nola, Nella or Nola. My glasses are terrible. Oh, it's Nella. Hi, Nella. How are you doing? Hi, Mr. Action. How are you? Welcome. When I was in that space of being so unhappy, it was really difficult to let myself be happy again. And sometimes I think people don't even know how to be happy. Some people don't know how to be happy because I didn't. I had to learn how to be happy. I had to learn how to smile. I had to learn how to do things that brought me peace and brought joy into my life. So um, I'm a work in progress. Yeah. Your language is so nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. No, I don't know Hindi. Um, so that's one of the things that I had to learn. I had to learn how to smile. I had to learn how to give myself the permission to be happy because sometimes we are not happy. Hey, Delvin, how are you doing? Blessings. Happy Tuesday to you. You know, sometimes we're not happy when we go through things, or we allow other people to make us unhappy. And that's what I went through for a long time. I was upset, I was angry, I was frustrated about so much things in my life. And hi, Janice, how are you? Welcome. I had let myself be unhappy, to be honest with you guys. You know, one thing about life is that we have to give ourselves the permission to be happy. We have to do things to make ourselves happy. And we also have to find people in our life that complement what we already are. Just took a rest at work. How are you doing? Awesome, Delvin. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yes. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So that's one of the things that I had to try to work on. I had to work on trying to make myself happy. I had to work on forgiving other people. I had to work on, if I didn't like something about my life, I was the one that had to make a choice to make myself happy, you know? And that's something about life, is we have to put in the work into ourselves to be happy. And those of you who know as we get older, we have to learn how to grow up, got to learn how to mature. You have to learn how to make yourself have peace. You have to be satisfied with your life. And if you're not satisfied, you have to move in a way to try to make yourself happy. And that your happiness can't come inside of a relationship. Your happiness isn't going to come inside of a boyfriend, girlfriend, a husband and a wife. Your peace and your joy isn't going to come inside of kids or anybody. That peace has to come from right in here. You gotta make peace with yourself first. And that is one of the things that I'm still a work in progress. You know, I'm definitely not perfect, but I had to learn how to have my peace within. I had to learn how to silence all of those negative things maybe that people had told me about who I was and what I deserved. And I had to shift that. And I feel like this is a perfect topic for Transformational Tuesday, is that you got to learn how to transform your mind. You got to transform your mindset. You got to transform what you think you deserve. Because if you don't feel that you deserve great things, you can't have great things. If you keep settling, if you keep allowing people to be negative or treat you like trash, but you keep taking it, then that is what you deserve. It's going to take you some work. It's going to take some work. It definitely is. Yes, it comes from you, Delvin. It really does. And that's not something that anybody taught me. It's something that I learned from experience and time, that my love for myself, my friendship with myself, what I think about myself and my life, it's dependent on me. My life isn't going to be, your life isn't going to be perfect. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be people who don't appreciate you and take advantage of you. But what are you going to do even with that? Even with the negativity, even with other people and their drama, even with your challenges, will you still rise up and make yourself happy? And that's something that every day, it's a challenge that I put in front of myself. Today, I always say, when I wake up every day, I said, I challenge me to be happy, to have peace, and to do my best. Sometimes I do great, and other times I fail miserably, but it's okay. Then I just pick up and I try again tomorrow. You know, not every day is going to be great. Not every day is going to be positive. Not every day you're going to feel encouraged. Not every day you will, you know, have the support. Or some days you have your down days. Some days you wake up and you have an attitude. Sometimes you feel sad. Sometimes somebody says something and it normally wouldn't bother you, but on that day it sets you off. It's just a part of life. But for me, I had to learn how to just let things go. I really did. Instead of holding it, harboring resentment, hating people, expecting perfection. That's something that I had to learn how to transform my mind into knowing that you don't got to expect perfection. It's not going to be perfect. People aren't going to be perfect. Even me, I'm not perfect. So I had to give myself, apply some compassion to myself. You know, stop expecting things to be perfect. Stop expecting for people to support you and love you and understand you. Some people just won't. And once I transformed that part of my mind to not expect something that other people can't give. Some people don't know how to give love. Some people don't even know what love is. So you sitting around expecting for people to love you, you sitting around expecting for people to support you or to understand you, you know, it's really a waste of time. It's really a waste of time, and you're going to just make yourself upset, angry, frustrated, and everything. So one of the best things that I ever did in my life was give myself permission to be happy and at peace inside of myself. I have to, every day I have to reaffirm that inside of myself. I give myself the permission to love me and to be unapologetic and to not let other people on the outside determine how I feel about myself. It's really about you. It's really about how you feel about yourself and your life. Hi, the funny little one. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, many don't know love. It's true. And I think that that's so sad. But that's something that each and every one of us can change. You know, you can change whatever that you think about yourself. Some things were put into our head, right? You're stupid, you're worthless, but that's just a projection. You know, maybe it was your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, this person's sibling, maybe it was an ex. Some people give off that energy because that's all they know. Some people have those behaviors or those actions because that's all they've known, that's all they've seen, and they're comfortable in it. But if you really want to change and transform your mind, the way you think about yourself, the kind of life that you have, the life that you live, you really want to transform your life, you will. Yes. Good. And thank you. Thank you too. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. What's going on in your world? What are you guys doing today? Delvin says peace is so great. Some don't even know how good peace is. Yes. And I feel like peace is the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life. Knowing how to be at peace with myself and not looking for peace inside of a partner, not looking for peace inside of money, not looking for peace inside of what everybody considers that's supposed to fill up your cup. That peace got to come from inside of you. You got to be okay with yourself. And it's not just the physical, the outside, because I'll break it down this way. There's a lot of people that think that the true feeling full and whole and happy and all those things lie in how you look. So they put all this time into hair and skin and this, all the things on the outside. And don't get me wrong, looking good, that's nice. It's a wonderful thing. But what about as you get older and you age and you start to wrinkle and you gain weight? Does that mean that you lose value because you got older? Because your physical body is changing? That's why I always say you got to be okay with who you are on the inside, because when your outside starts, I hope that's better now. I hope it's back. Please let me know if it's back, Miss Purple. If not, I'm just going to bring it to an end. I'm going to wait to see if it's back. It's back? Okay, good. I don't know what happened. I think I had got a phone call or something. So thank you so much for telling me that. But like I was saying, sometimes we need to work on our relationship with ourselves. You know, we focus so much on, you know, maybe your kids, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, this and working, but we forget about ourselves. And I had to learn, especially in talking about today being Transformational Tuesday, one thing that I had to transform is expectations. Expecting people who have never supported me, never encouraged me, never been there for me, expecting for them to suddenly, like out of the blue, make changes. You know, I had to stop expecting for people to be something that they're not. We have to accept people who they are, and some people don't deserve to have a space in our life. Some people are not healthy for us. There's some romantic relationships that you're better off leaving them alone. You know, I've said it all the time. It's better to be single than to settle and be with somebody who is no good for you, who is toxic, who does not support, love, encourage, and help you. No, people will have be in a whole relationship and feel worse than a person who is single, because being in a relationship, if it's not healthy, if it's toxic, and you have to be doing all of these things for them, they're sitting back, they're not doing anything, they want to argue with you, they want to bring in drama, they want you to take care of them, and on top of that, they want to be controlling. No, everybody, no. We're not doing that. This is 2025. This is not the times of slavery. You know, I personally had to learn to empower my mind, and it was one of the reasons why I felt so free when I let go of a toxic romantic relationship. I felt so free, because you really are enslaved to people. You really can be enslaved to a relationship, trying to be supportive and good to them when you need to let go of them. Hi, Charlene. How are you doing? Welcome in. You know, that was my issue for a long time. I was enslaved to a romantic relationship, and I should have been let him go, because he wasn't helping me. Actually, he was messing up my head, being very controlling and demanding. It's like they want you to be all of these things as a woman, right? But they're not doing what they're supposed to do as a man. They have all of these expectations of what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be this small, right? You're supposed to be thin. You're supposed to be look beautiful all the time. But it's okay for them to let themselves go. It's okay for them to be lazy. It's okay for them to be unfocused. It's okay for them to be angry. And they always try to find some drama to start arguments with you. And for me, I'm the type of person that I'd rather be by myself than to be with somebody that I have to argue with, or feeling like you got a little kid that you got to be cleaning up after them. I don't have time for the drama. No, 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 no. We're not doing drama in 2025 and moving forward. So that's just me personally, guys. I'm being honest and real with you guys. It's better to be free than to be in a relationship just to say you have somebody, but they're just basically a roommate. Or it's like you have a child sometimes and not a husband, not a wife, and not a, I mean, boyfriend or girlfriend, not a supportive mate. And some people don't know how to be a support mate, you know? Some people, they don't know how to be supportive because they're just a selfish person, demanding, manipulative. And for me, the best thing that I ever did in my life was letting go of that toxic relationship. You know, just because a person, you're with somebody for a long time, and I've heard people say, you know, like, oh, like it's something to boast about. I've been in this relationship for 27 years, but all 27 of it had toxic. That's not something to be proud about. And it's like people celebrate toxicity. Oh, stay together, work it out, especially if a person has kids. That's crazy to me. I'm not on board with that. Chillwell Cruz says, I have been in a controlling relationship. Thank you, Lord, for getting out safe. He didn't hit me, but it was mentally drained. Yes. And it happens every day, right, everybody? Hey, Metro, how are you doing? Miss Purple says, I've been here, Chuck. Yes. You've been there? There's a lot of people who have been there and done that. And I just want to say, I'm so grateful for deliverance. Woo! If there's anybody who is staying in a romantic relationship, if you're staying with somebody just to say that you're in a relationship, free yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's not something to boast about that you stay with somebody, but you're not happy. You're miserable. Or if you're together, they always want to complain or argue, you know. So that's just something that I just wanted to chit chat with you guys for a little bit, and to encourage somebody. You know, when I go on live, I really like to speak honestly and transparently about my life. And I want you guys to know that I have been in a toxic relationship. I too have done things that hold on to somebody when I should have been let them go. But I tell you, it's not easy. And the same thing can apply to friendship. The same thing can apply to, you know, your siblings or relatives. Let them go, you know, and transform your life. Sometimes we can't transform into being the happy person, the joyful person, the peaceful person because of other people who are in our life. And until we set ourselves free from them, you're always going to be held down. You know, it's just like having a millstone around your neck. Or they bring a lot of weight in your life. They make your life miserable, very heavy, hard to deal with. Used to always feel like I had a cloud over me, like it was nothing but doom and gloom and darkness. And it's because of the choices of a person that you're with. When you're with somebody and they don't make good choices, or they only think about themselves, and you always have to bail them out, and you always have to be supportive of them and encouraging them, and you don't get the encouragement. it's so draining and taxing. So I hope that there is nobody who is watching that is in that. But if there is somebody who is in a toxic relationship, please free yourself. Leave. And especially if it's a DV situation, I never would want to see any of my Jones family sticking around and somebody putting their hands on you. But you know, it doesn't make it any better if it's verbal abuse. Abuse is abuse. Abusing you mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually. Abuse is just a big no-no. Okay. So that's all from here. I just want to tap in on my break and say hi to the Gems family. I hope you guys are well on this Transformational Tuesday. Keep your head up and be encouraged. Yes, we all been through serious toxic relationships, but they cannot break us. We know what we must do, cut them off and set boundaries. Yes, Metro. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to have a premiere at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. So make sure you tune into that. And those who are watching in the replay, you're a real one. Thank you so much. And I hope you have something that you are trying to transform in your life. We're going to be doing these every Tuesday, talking about transformations and changes that we want to make, because we deserve to live the best life ever, the best life possible, and being as positive and as joyful as we deserve to be. So shout out to all of my mods. Thank you to all my new supporters, new subscribers. Thank you so much. I believe we have a little maybe like 50. I think I have 50 subscribers until we hit 2K, which is very exciting for me. We've been growing over here, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who is new. Thank you so much for your support. Or if you're in the background and you're watching and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. I love to have you as part of the Gems family. And yeah, hey to all my channel members, thank you guys so much. We're going to be doing a channel member live at some point this weekend. Turn your notification bell on. So, okay guys, this is Life with Marlene, your Florida vlogger, your life coach and motivator. I'll see you guys on the next one, premiere tonight. I'm going to try tomorrow to go live, but I'm not positive. We're going to try, okay? Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. I hope it's beautiful. I hope you're happy. I hope you have peace, and love your life and live your life. Bye.